Hey everybody, you're watching Dance On. I'm your host Luan Legacy, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of your weekly Smash recaps. This week's episode had so many twists and turns in the storyline, I felt like a slinky bouncing up and down at the edge of my seat. For one, we see that the relationship between Julia and her ex Michael may be growing into something a little scandalous as we find out that they're having a one-on-one outing while her husband is out of town. At first their mood is kind of cold, but who knows if things could be heating up between the two. I say don't do it, Julia. They're called your ex because you're supposed to X them out of your life. Julia's son, Leo, was seen again in this episode, but this time he's wearing handcuffs. Turns out he was with his friend who was in possession of pot and a vaporizer. Julia blows up on him, grounds him, and lets him know that if he does any more illegal things, it could potentially affect the adoption that they're trying to have. Think of the children, Leo. Think of your sister or brother. Derek is still rehearsing with the main performers of the show, and he does something outrageous when he interrupts Ivy's singing to tell her that she isn't capturing the essence of Marilyn's vibrato. Girl, she was pissed. He tells Karen to show her how it's done and tells her to sing Happy Birthday as Marilyn. Girl, she was pissed. And then he tells Karen to give Ivy some vocal coaching. Girl, did I mention she was pissed? In another rehearsal, Derek's unresponsive behavior is really starting to affect Ivy because she forgets her line and starts to break down. However, the show must go on and she still manages to put on a great performance of Let's Be Bad. However, it must have been bad because by the end of the number, Derek storms out of the room without saying a word. Karen vents to Dev about how there is so much emphasis on sexuality to be successful in Broadway that he persuades her to changing to something a little more revealing so he can show her off at his work function. And we watch as she primps herself up singing It's a Man's World and watch as she really turns up the heat at the party. Oh boy, is it getting hot in here? Actually, it's kind of cold where I am, but I do know where it's getting hot. Outside Julia's apartment, where after a harmless dinner, Michael and Julia are waiting for his ride. He tries to win her over in a romantic plea by singing A Song for You. She resists the temptation, but right as Michael is about to leave, he sweeps her into a deep kiss and she completely gives in. All of this is happening while her son is watching from the window above. Need I remind you, her husband is out of town? Where will these cliffhangers lead the main storyline of the show? Guess you'll just have to tune in next week to find out. With that being said, my name is Luan Legacy. Thanks for watching and tune in next week for your Smash recaps.